You have worked at the same company in Perth for 3 years. You have taken on more responsibilities, trained new staff, and never once been late on a deadline. Your boss gives you a pat on the back at your annual review and says budgets are tight this year. You nod, thank them, and go back to your desk. Meanwhile, a recruiter calls you with an offer from a competitor for 25% more doing the same job. You feel sick because you realize you have been leaving thousands on the table every single year just because you never asked. Here is the number that should make you uncomfortable. Research from the Australian HR Institute shows that employees who negotiate their starting salary increase their lifetime earnings by over $500,000 on average, not because they are better workers, because they asked. Part 1. The problem you already recognize is that salary feels personal. You are raised to believe that if you work hard, your employer will reward you fairly. Your parents probably told you not to be greedy. Your friends complain about their pay, but none of them actually do anything about it. So you wait. You hope. You tell yourself that next year will be different. But the structural reality is that most Australian companies have a budget for wages that is deliberately set below what they are willing to pay. They expect you to negotiate. HR departments have discretion. The first offer is almost never the final offer, and yet studies consistently show that nearly 60% of Australian employees have never negotiated their salary, not once in their entire career. The cost of that silence is staggering because every raise you do not get compounds over your working life. A $5,000 difference in your 20s becomes a $50,000 difference in your retirement balance due to lost super contributions and investment returns. Part 2. The insight that reframes everything is that salary negotiation is not confrontation. It is information exchange. Your employer does not know what you are worth unless you show them market data, and the market data is freely available. Websites like Hayes Salary Guide, Seek's Annual Salary Report, and the Australian Bureau of Statistics publish detailed breakdowns by industry, role, and location. You can see exactly what someone with your experience earns in Sydney versus Brisbane, in mining versus retail, in a large firm versus a small one. When you walk into a negotiation with a printed page showing that the median salary for your role is 15% higher than what you are paid, you are not being aggressive. You are being factual. And here is the deeper reframe. Your employer would rather give you a raise than lose you. Replacing an employee costs between 50% and 200% of their annual salary in recruitment, training, and lost productivity. The smart employer knows this. They are not looking for a reason to say no. They are looking for a reason to say yes that they can justify to their finance team. You can give them that reason by anchoring your request in market data and documented achievements. Part 3. Practical action steps you can take starting today. Step 1. Gather your evidence. Go to Seek, LinkedIn, and Hayes. Find 3 salary reports that are specific to your job title, your city, and your years of experience. Screenshot the relevant tables. Step 2. Document your achievements over the last 12 months. Use numbers. Instead of saying, I worked hard, say I increased sales by 18%, or I reduced processing time by 25%, or I led a project that saved the company $40,000. Quantify everything. Step 3. Request a meeting with your manager. Do not do this in the corridor or over coffee. Send a calendar invite titled Discussion about my role and contributions. That is professional and neutral. Step 4. Prepare your opening statement. I enjoy working here and I want to continue growing with the team. Based on my research and my results over the past year, I believe my compensation should be adjusted to X. Show them the market data, hand them a one-page summary. Step 5. Be ready for objections. Budgets are tight is not a no. It is a delay. Respond by asking what would need to happen for a raise to be possible in the next 3 months. Can we set a performance target that triggers an automatic increase? Can I get a one-off bonus instead of a base raise? Step 6. Do not threaten to leave unless you are actually prepared to follow through. But you can politely mention that you have been approached by recruiters, which is almost always true. I have had a few opportunities come my way recently, but I would much rather stay here if we can find a way to make the numbers work. Step 7. Get everything in writing. A verbal promise is worth nothing. Ask for an updated employment contract or a formal letter confirming any change. Part 4. The contrast and consequence. 2 people start the same job on the same day in Melbourne. Both earn $80,000. Both perform identically. Person A never negotiates. After 1 year, they get the standard 3% cost of living increase, taking them to $82,400. Person B negotiates at their 6-month review and gets a 10% raise to $88,000. Over the next 5 years, Person A continues to accept standard increases averaging 3%. Person B negotiates every 2 years, securing additional 5 to 10% raises each time. By year 5, Person A is earning approximately $95,000. Person B is earning $120,000. That $25,000 annual difference might not sound huge, but multiply it over 20 years. Person A's lifetime earnings from that job total roughly $2.1 million. Person B's total is $2.6 million, $500,000 more. And because superannuation is 9.5% of salary, Person B also has $47,000 more in super after 20 years before investment growth. Now factor in investment returns on that extra take-home pay. If Person B invests the additional $25,000 per year into an ETF like VGS or DHHF, earning 7%, after 20 years, they have an extra $1.1 million in investment assets. The person who never asked is not poorer because they worked less hard. They are poorer because they never learned that silence has a price tag. You have been told that good things come to those who wait. In the context of Australian salaries, that is a lie. The data is clear. People who negotiate earn more across their entire career, not because they are better employees, because they understand that a salary is not a reward for past work. It is a price for future work, and every price is negotiable. The question is not whether you deserve a raise. The question is whether you are willing to sit across from your boss, show them the market data, and ask for what you are worth. If not today, then when? And how much money will you have left on the table by then?